Quarterback is the most important position in football, so there's no better position to focus on when it comes to off-season rankings. So, let's see how all 32 NFL starting QBs stack up against one another. So without further ado, let's dive into the rankings. Number 32, Sam Howell, Washington Commanders. Howell had a single late-season game to showcase his potential as the starting quarterback, and he delivered a solid performance. He completed 11 of 19 passes for 168 yards, notching a touchdown and added 35 rushing yards along with another score. Despite being regarded as a promising prospect, Howell surprisingly slipped to the 5th round in the 2022 draft. Washington is just enthusiastic about having a young, high-potential player under center instead of an aging bridge option. However, setting expectations much higher would be overly optimistic. Number 31, Desmond Ridder, Atlanta Falcons. Ridder stepped in for a struggling Marcus Mariota in the Falcons' last games of 2022. However, his performances in the previous season didn't give us much reason to believe he can match a past his prime Marcus Mariota. He had a 68.5% adjusted completion rate, but also made 2 turnover-worthy plays compared to 3 big-time throws. It's hard to draw definitive conclusions, so don't anticipate him wowing you anytime soon. Number 30, Anthony Richardson, Indianapolis Colts. It's going to be interesting to see how the 4th overall pick in the 2023 NFL Draft fares as a rookie. While we've witnessed his success in the running game, the big question remains, can he deliver in the passing game at the NFL level, especially with the limited talent surrounding him? If the offensive line mirrors its poor performance from the previous year, he will likely struggle. Number 29, C.J. Stroud, Houston Texans. Houston invested the 2nd overall pick in a promising rookie from Ohio State known for his powerful arm. However, predicting a rookie quarterback's performance is always a challenge, but he has NFL-caliber stature and exceptional accuracy. With some solid playmakers like Dameon Pierce, Nico Collins, John Mechie, and Robert Woods around him, we'll have to wait and see how he adapts to his first taste of NFL action. Number 28, Bryce Young, Carolina Panthers. Young was easily the best quarterback in this draft, but the only reason some folks hesitated was because he's on the shorter side at 5'10". He's got the talent, but there's a real question mark about how well he'll do. He could do great right out of the gate, or he might struggle like most rookies. In truth, it could swing either way. Number 27, Jordan Love, Green Bay Packers. Since being drafted in 2020, Jordan Love had just 1 start, making it hard to pin down his strengths. Now, 2 years later, Love finds himself as the starting quarterback in Green Bay, replacing Aaron Rodgers. Worth noting that Love performed impressively during preseason games, but the real question is whether that success will translate to regular season games. This season will reveal how well Love learned in 3 years under Rodgers. Number 26, Baker Mayfield, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This is pretty much Baker Mayfield's final shot to demonstrate that he's capable of being an NFL starter. Otherwise, the former 1st overall pick from 2018 may have to settle for a backup role moving forward. While he managed to secure a win with the Rams last season against the Raiders, even Tom Brady didn't have a standout season in his final year with the Bucs. Hence, we're skeptical that Mayfield will fare significantly better with a nearly identical offense. The question remains, can Baker prove he's a legitimate NFL starter or just an average backup? Number 25, Jimmy Garoppolo, Las Vegas Raiders. Jimmy Garoppolo would be ranked higher if he didn't have health issues, but it's hard to rely on him to stay healthy. If he manages to play every game this season, he could have a great year. He knows Josh McDaniels and the Raiders have good receivers. Still, he's not expected to be an above-average starter. Number 24, Kenny Pickett, Pittsburgh Steelers. As a rookie, Pickett won 7 out of 12 starts, even though his stats were just okay. A 63.0 completion rate, 2,404 yards, 7 touchdowns, and 9 interceptions. It might not have been glamorous, but he did a solid job in his first year. Now, with a full season of experience, people are expecting more from him. Pickett is a bit of an unknown, so we'll have to wait and see how he steps up. Number 23, Brock Purdy, San Francisco 49ers. If the final pick in the 2022 NFL Draft can prove that his rookie year wasn't just a lucky streak, 2023 could shape up to be a much more promising season. Purdy had an impressive 5-0 record in the regular season and even clinched 2 playoff victories while playing for a talented 49ers team. His regular season stats of 1,300 yards, 13 touchdowns, and just 4 interceptions are no joke. However, it's also important not to read too much into such a small sample size. The big question now is whether Purdy is genuinely a rising star or if last year was just a stroke of beginner's luck. Number 22, Ryan Tannehill, Tennessee Titans. It's becoming incredibly tough to have faith in Tannehill as he's had a rough season. He's prone to injuries, approaching his 35th birthday, and has been on a downward trend since his standout year in 2019. If he stays healthy, and with the boost of a true WR1 like Hopkins and new additions to the offensive line, there's hope for a better performance this year. However, it's unlikely he can fully regain his peak form, so don't be surprised if promising rookie Will Levis ends up taking over as the starter at some point this season. Number 21, Mac Jones, New England Patriots. Despite the disappointments of the previous season, it is crucial to recall that Jones demonstrated his ability as a high-level distributor of the football during his rookie year. He's a better player than some may give him credit for, so we can't place all the blame on him for a lackluster second year. Instead, Bill Belichick, Matt Patricia, and Joe Judge, the co-offensive play callers, share responsibility. The arrival of competent offensive coaching has significant potential to benefit Jones. Anticipate a rebound season from Mac, showcasing that he indeed belongs in this league, but let's not expect more than that. Number 20, Russell Wilson, Denver Broncos. In his debut season with Denver, Russell Wilson's performance left much to be desired, and he was arguably one of the worst quarterbacks in the league. Unfortunately, at 34 years old and without injuries to attribute his struggles to, it's challenging to anticipate a significant improvement in the upcoming season. However, it's worth noting that Wilson's performance can vary widely, making it hard to predict his exact outcome. Number 19, Justin Fields, Chicago Bears. Fields is arguably the most thrilling player in the league, thanks to his dynamic mobility. In his 15 games, he threw for 2,200 yards, notching 17 touchdowns and 11 interceptions. He also showcased his running prowess with over 1,100 rushing yards and 8 rushing touchdowns. While his rushing feats were exhilarating, it's clear that his passing game is still a work in progress. This upcoming season is a pivotal one for Fields to demonstrate what he's capable of with improved support around him. Number 18, Daniel Jones, New York Giants. Jones's stats might not have been dazzling last season, but his performance was solid enough for the Giants to sign him to a $40 million per year deal for the next 4 years. Jones threw for 3,200 yards, managed 15 touchdowns with just 5 interceptions, and ran for 700 yards with 7 rushing touchdowns. He played a key role in leading the Giants to the playoffs in a competitive NFC East and even securing a playoff victory. With the arrival of newcomers like Darren Waller, Jalen Hyatt, and Paris Campbell, expect Jones to have a better 2023 with better targets at his disposal. Number 17, Kyler Murray, Arizona Cardinals. It's unfortunate that we won't witness Kyler Murray in full health until 2024. However, he's demonstrated his dependability. Losing DeAndre Hopkins and A.J. Green is definitely a setback, but those skeptical of Murray will recognize his value to the team when the offense struggles in his absence. Number 16, Jared Goff, Detroit Lions. Goff made a notable comeback last year, delivering 4,400 passing yards and 29 touchdowns with just 7 interceptions. His 29 passing touchdowns marked the second highest in his career and earned him a Pro Bowl selection, guiding Detroit to its first winning season since 2017. Nevertheless, Detroit is still banking on him to secure their first playoff victory in over 3 decades. So the question is whether he can come through in a big game. Number 15, Derek Carr, New Orleans Saints. For Raiders fans, it's been a mixed bag with Derek Carr in recent years. He had arguably the best receiver and running back in the league last season, but fell short of expectations. In what should have been a strong season, Carr's big plays decreased, and he struggled with accuracy. Following a challenging year under Josh McDaniels, he was released. With a fresh start in New Orleans, Carr is set for an exciting comeback Player of the Year campaign. Number 14, Geno Smith, Seattle Seahawks. Smith had an astonishing run as a top 10 quarterback for most of last season, although things got a bit shaky towards the end. He turned in an impressive performance, earning him the Comeback Player of the Year award. Smith led the league with a 69.8% completion rate, passing for 4,282 yards and tallying 30 touchdowns against 11 interceptions. His reward was a 3-year contract extension worth $105 million. Considering his promising performance last season, Smith is poised to keep getting even better. Number 13, Matthew Stafford, Los Angeles Rams. Last season was a rough ride for the Rams, and Matthew Stafford's individual performance wasn't much better. He went from throwing 50 touchdowns, including the playoffs, the season before, to just 10 across 9 games before being sidelined for the year. However, it's important to remember that Stafford secured a Super Bowl victory in his first year with Sean McVay. So, if he can return to near full strength and stay healthy, expect him to look like himself again. Number 12, Deshaun Watson, Cleveland Browns. Watson's suspension for the first 11 games of the previous season had a clear impact on his performance upon his return, but it's important to remember that nearly 2 years away from football can take a toll. However, given his past excellence as a top 4 player in his position, it's reasonable to expect him to reclaim his former Houston Texans-like form in 2023. Number 11, Tua Tagovailoa, Miami Dolphins. Tagovailoa had the league's highest QB rating at 105.5 and led in yards per attempt with an impressive 8.9 last season. He also had one of the deepest average target depths. Plus, his elite potential shines in Mike McDaniel's offense due to his exceptional decision-making, precise execution, and coachability. Tua delivered an impressive 3,500 yards, 25 touchdowns, and just 8 interceptions in only 13 games last season. So if he's in good health, he's a dark horse MVP candidate. Number 10, Dak Prescott, Dallas Cowboys. Regardless of your feelings towards the Cowboys, there's no denying that Dak Prescott is firmly among the league's second-tier quarterbacks. After a disappointing playoff exit, it's understandable why some might doubt his trajectory. However, with the addition of Brandon Cooks and another year for Michael Gallup to return to form, Prescott has the potential for his best statistical season yet. The key lies in his ongoing development as a passer, a crucial element in becoming a championship-winning quarterback. Number 9, Kirk Cousins, Minnesota Vikings. Over the years 2019 to 2022, only Patrick Mahomes and Tom Brady surpassed Kirk Cousins in passing yards. He's undeniably an exceptionally accurate passer with a knack for big plays. While not consistently elite, Cousins has demonstrated flashes of greatness, which, combined with his remarkable consistency, solidifies his status as a franchise quarterback. With 3 consecutive seasons boasting a completion rate exceeding 65%, over 4,200 passing yards, and 29-plus touchdowns, you can confidently expect a repeat performance from Cousins. Number 8, Aaron Rodgers, New York Jets. At 39, questions naturally arise when a player's performance dips. However, it's important to remember that Aaron Rodgers earned back-to-back MVP titles just a year ago. Following a lackluster final season in Green Bay, he's now in New York with a stronger team and a top-tier defense at his disposal. All indications suggest a promising comeback season for the seasoned quarterback. Number 7, Trevor Lawrence, Jacksonville Jaguars. Trevor Lawrence was hailed as a generational talent when drafted, and he lived up to that reputation in 2022. He posted a 66.3% completion rate, threw for 4,100 yards, 25 touchdowns, and just 8 interceptions. And the Jaguars have been actively adding talent around him this offseason, so it's reasonable to anticipate another significant leap from Trevor, given his incredible potential. Number 6, Lamar Jackson, Baltimore Ravens. Lamar Jackson has quickly established himself as the greatest dual-threat QB in history, despite his relatively short career. However, he's had a couple of injury-plagued seasons. Even in the face of injuries, he managed to throw for 5,100 yards and rush for 1,500 yards across 2 challenging seasons. Now, with a new offensive coordinator and 2 valuable additions in Super Bowl champion Odell Beckham Jr. and rookie Zay Flowers, it wouldn't be a shock to see Lamar Jackson secure another MVP award. The key factor remains his health, because when he's fit, he's undeniably the league's top dual-threat QB. Number 5, Justin Herbert, Los Angeles Chargers. Justin Herbert's first 3 NFL seasons have been nothing short of remarkable. He's at the top in passing yards, total touchdowns, and second in passing touchdowns among all QBs in NFL history. He's the complete package you could wish for in a quarterback, excelling in both stats and the actual game performance. Herbert consistently puts up MVP-level numbers. The only question is whether the Chargers' defense and special teams will step up and support him in winning those crucial games. With his ability to make every throw and elite production, it's time for his team to reciprocate the effort. Number 4, Jalen Hurts, Philadelphia Eagles. Jalen Hurts had a phenomenal 2022 season and has consistently shown growth throughout his career. If he can keep that momentum going, he's poised for another outstanding season. His biggest strength remains his mobility, giving his team a potent run-game threat with his option plays. In 2022, he averaged 8.0 yards per pass attempt and contributed nearly 800 rushing yards and 13 ground touchdowns. To excel, he must prioritize staying healthy, as one unnecessary hit cost him an MVP trophy. With the league's best offensive line and a wealth of weapons at his disposal, there's no doubt he's a strong MVP contender for 2023. Number 3, Josh Allen, Buffalo Bills. Josh Allen has consistently delivered impressive stats, with 3 consecutive seasons of over 4,000 passing yards and 35-plus touchdowns, complemented by 1,525 rushing yards and 13 rushing scores in the last 2 seasons. If not for Patrick Mahomes, Allen would be in the spotlight. He's evolved from being viewed as a freak of nature to a bona fide QB. Despite 2 disappointing playoff exits, questions have surfaced about his ability in crucial games. Nevertheless, he still has time to silence the doubters, because he's virtually unstoppable, thanks to his multifaceted ability to dismantle opposing defenses. Number 2, Joe Burrow, Cincinnati Bengals. Joe Burrow has proven that precise, well-timed passes can still transform the quarterback position. He's a pure pocket passer with astonishing accuracy, consistently leading the league in PFF passing grade over the last 2 regular seasons. His stats are equally impressive, with 9,000 yards on a 69% completion rate, 69 touchdowns, and just 26 interceptions in the last 2 seasons. He's guided Cincinnati to consecutive AFC Championship games and nearly back-to-back Super Bowls. Burrow is undoubtedly elite, and he is Mahomes' strongest competition for the title of the league's best QB. Number 1, Patrick Mahomes, Kansas City Chiefs. With the names of Manning and Brady now history, Patrick Mahomes is the undisputed number 1 quarterback in the league. Since taking over as the Kansas City starter in 2018, Mahomes has elevated his game to another stratosphere, leading the Chiefs to 2 Super Bowl victories and 4 AFC Championship appearances. Last year, he threw for an astounding 5,200 yards, 41 touchdowns, and just 12 interceptions. Many questioned his ability to succeed after losing superstar receiver Tyreek Hill, but he silenced those doubters by winning the Super Bowl without him. Mahomes is without question the league's best QB, leaving everyone else competing for the number 2 spot. Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and subscribe. Thank you for watching.